Welcome. The rest of you, what the heck's going on here? All right. Good morning. Okay, so this morning I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Diane Preston. This morning she will be completing her project number 4, How to See It. Her responsibility in this speech is to use words and arrangements of words that effectively communicate her message to the audience. The speech must have a clear purpose and must be organized in a way that the audience gains understanding of the information being presented. The goals of this speech include using clear, accurate, and descriptive words and verbs that convey action. Her subject matter must demonstrate that she has chosen a speech topic that is appropriate for this particular assignment. Please help me welcome Diane Preston. Scott, can you reset the time?
Actually, my husband will take it home from over there, the big roll.
Thanks, everyone. The power of words. I contend that there are words that can change the course of humanity. But before I get into that, I'd like to give you a little background. A few weeks ago, I was reading a novel, and I was only up to chapter 2, chapter 3, and I began to notice that the author was using words that I had never before seen in print. There had to have been at least 6 to 8 words in that book. Now, I'd like to tell you that I got up and I ran to the dictionary and I looked them up and I wrote them down and I incorporated them into my vocabulary, but that is not the case. But I was fascinated by the fact that these words were new to me. I thought about the fact that from the time I was in grade school and the public library sent a bookmobile to my neighborhood, I had been in love with books. And over the course of my lifetime, given my age, I had read thousands of books and magazines and textbooks, but I hadn't seen these words before. I thought about the fact that words create awareness. Words help us to assimilate information. Words can inspire us. Words misspoken by someone that we love or an authority figure can malign us for the rest of our lives. I kept wondering about this awareness of words that I was having, and it made me question whether or not there were words that could help us to alter the course of humanity. I kept pondering it. I went to the library again, and because this question was ever present in my mind, I'm in the new book section. I see a book on the top shelf. I pull it down. I never looked at the title. I never read the book jacket. I never read what was inside of the book, but I took it home. Well, it turns out that this book was answering my question. It was written by a local author who lives in Dana Point. His name is Kevin Hall, and he wrote a book called Aspire. And for him, this book was about capturing the 10 words that he felt were helping him to fulfill his purpose. Now, I have to tell you, he rounded up in this book the usual suspects. Integrity, courage, passion. Okay, we've seen it, done it, been it, whatever. It was just the same old. But he did identify 2 words that have really captured my attention and really made me think about the power that they contained within them. The first word that I'm going to introduce you to is Jen Shai. It's an ancient Hindi word, and here's what it means: that we never look, speak to, or touch another human being in a way that makes them feel small. He gives the story of passing a beggar on the street. And he says, if you toss a coin into the person's basket, that is not practicing Jen Shai. But if you stop, you stoop down, you make eye contact, you hand the person the coin, that is the practice of Jen Shai. I was fascinated by that. I thought about the power of that word, And I thought about how many times as a person myself, I have made myself be small by my own hand. I was in process with a company recently. For 2 months, I wanted this job. Oh, I wanted this job. I wanted to be in this company. And I applied for this entry-level management position. Get down to the final round, and it comes to light that they see my salary history and said, you know, we don't think you're gonna be happy here. We think that not only are you gonna be bored over time, but you're going to see that there's a big disparity here with how much money you're going to make. Well, I pleaded my case because I really wanted this job. I really did. But then, after the disappointment wore off, I realized that I had made myself small. I was saying that I was willing to say that a job that I had done 30 years ago in a different company was okay for me to be doing now. What I was saying is 30 years of experience going up the corporate ladder, having training, having education, and then finding myself doing the exact same thing. I had been mentored by some of the finest minds in business, things I couldn't learn in a book, and I was willing to give all of that up or to pretend it didn't exist so that I could fit. So Jen Shy had to give that up. The second word is a word that you've heard before. Charlene has used it, and it's namaste. It originally came in from the East, and Albert Einstein was watching a newsreel and saw Gandhi walking through the streets, bowing, his hands together, bowing to each person that he met. And Einstein wrote him a letter and said, what is this all about? What are you doing? And Gandhi replied, what it means is, I respect the divine in you. I see that we are connected by the universe. We are the same, we are one. And in addition to that, he goes on to write, each person is special. Each person is unique. Each person has something unique to them that they can contribute on their path. How wonderful it would be if we not only could say that to each person, maybe not out loud, we're still uncomfortable with things like that, but just in our mind, when you're working with someone, to think those thoughts in your mind, what a difference that could make. And if we saw that in ourselves and knew that we were unique and we were special and we had something to contribute that was different than everyone else, what a difference that could make. Taking those two words, namaste and Jen Shai, if we not only live them, but apply them in our own lives, what a difference it could make, what momentum we would gain. Mother Teresa was quoted as saying, it is the responsibility of each of us to reach out and uplift one another and to lighten another's burden. Words are power. Words are the passwords to unlock the codes to make us better human beings. Namaste.
Now we'll take a couple minutes to evaluate.
Let me just step it back.
now I'd like to introduce to you Diane Eisner, who's here to evaluate. Hold on.